Hello and welcome back. Lesson 5 of the Mums Taxi app. Today we're going to continue doing the front end of our app, and I think we're going to complete the HTML part of the front end today. And then in the next lesson, we'll start working on the CSS. So basically, to understand what's going on, we're going to do the HTML. That means the overall structure will be done, but it's not going to look very pretty. And then tomorrow, we'll start prettifying it, start putting in some styles and colors, fonts, and changing sizes and things like that. So I hope you're enjoying this. And remember, if you're stuck, just a tip here, right? Most of the queries that we get from people who didn't get something right arise because they missed something in the video. So first step, if you are stuck, if you find something is not right, go through the video, maybe play it 1.5 times speed and go through the video again. 9 out of 10 chances you'll find what was wrong or what you missed out. And then you're welcome to ask the questions. Don't forget, log into or sign up for the course. It's free. At the end of this, you're going to earn a certificate. And that will be really cool to get a certificate which you can share on social media. Another tip for coding is, look, when things don't work out, don't stress it. Just keep at it and you will get there. Okay, so without any delays, let's get down to it. Okay, so just to recap very quickly, yesterday we put in the one label and the one input box. And to look at the output, there we go. There's our label and there's the input box. It looks obviously nothing like the finished product, but we are going to get there shortly. Now what we're going to do today is to add the second label. So we'll call it label. Class is equal to labels. It'll have the same class as the previous label. And you'll see maybe in the next lesson what we use the classes for. Next, 4 is equal to, and we're going to call this one days. And then close the angle bracket. And we ask the question, how many days? Question mark. Don't forget to put in the line break tag at the end of this line. Next, angle bracket, input, class is equal to inputs, and type is equal to number also. Remember, the number input type will only accept numbers. And then we'll give this guy an ID. Remember, equals to. Don't forget the equals to signs there, there, and there. It's very easy to leave it out, and that is a common error. And the ID is equal to days. Then we close this tag, / and angle bracket. Remember, the input tag does not have a close tag. Everything is kind of included in the one single tag. And then we've got the label tag, which has an open and close. Most tags, you can see the div has an open and a close tag. The form has an open and close tag. Most HTML tags do have an open and close, but there are a couple, like the input, that don't have an accompanying close tag. All right, so we've got our second label and our second input box. Let's save this and go and have a look at it in the browser. In the browser, we hit refresh, and there we go. Fantastic. How much monthly and how many days? What's the next thing to add? The next thing will be to add this go button. So let's go back to our code and add this button. So to add a button, we use a tag known as button. And we'll give this button an ID is equal to, go. And then we close the angle bracket, and in there we type in the word go. All right, let's save this and refresh it in the browser. Back in the browser, whoops, why is it on the same line? Perhaps I forgot to put a line break tag, but we'll fix that up. But nonetheless, you can see our button is there. Okay, so the reason that the button is on the same line as this input is because we forgot to put the line break tag there. Okay, so a button, open and close tags, and in the middle, the text that goes on top of your button, that's displayed on your button. Now you can change this to whatever you want. You type in the word submit, and when you refresh it, you can see it says submit there. But I'm going to leave it as go. All right. So that's our form 100% complete. It's as simple as that. You've got your two inputs with their labels, and then you've got your submit button. Now there's just one more output element that I'm going to put. Right. So after the form tag, remember, after the close form tag, hit enter a couple of times, and then you put in a div, and you give it an ID is equal to output, and the close angle bracket, and then you've got your close div there. Now, we're not going to put anything inside there. We're just going to leave this empty as it is. This is not going to display anything at the moment. Now, what's the use of this? Why are we putting this? Now, the reason we're putting this can be seen in the final app. It's this, the output. So when you start off the app, notice there's nothing displaying. But when we put in some amounts and we hit go, then the final output appears there. So that's why we are making provision for that output. And that output, not surprisingly, has an ID of output. So when we do our script, when we do our JavaScript, and the JavaScript calculates the amounts, it will know where to display the output. It will display that output into the output tag, and it will display it right there below the button. Okay, let's save this. Don't forget to save it always, and go and refresh. And not surprisingly, again, you don't see that empty tag there. But that's all we need for the time being for the output of for the inputs of our tag. The user interface is now complete. And believe it or not, this user interface will be changed to look like that. We'll start that in the next lesson. So that's all for now. I know this was a bit of a short lesson, but it's important. It's critical that you understand what happened in this lesson here, because the entire app relies on that front end. If your front end of your app is not working, if it's faulty, then your app is going to fail. But if you get that front end right, then you will be setting the foundation for the rest of your app. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll catch you tomorrow.